There was an absolutely fascinating article posted on Seeking Alpha within the last 48 hours about Tesla's energy storage and about Tesla's battery production in the United States. And honestly, some of the information I think may be incorrect, but some of it is correct. And wow, it might blow your mind. It certainly has for me. Hello, my friends, and welcome to the Electric Viking. My name is Sam Evans. I'm coming to you here from Melbourne, Australia. Welcome to the channel, you new subscribers. Great to have you here. Welcome back to everyone else. So, what is going on? Well, apparently, we're all missing what Tesla talked about during their fourth quarter earnings call. In fact, no one has reported on what exactly is going on. Now, the big point here, I'm going to get to it at the start, so then you can just decide whether or not you want to watch the rest of the video, but I think you should because it's fascinating. But the big point here is that Tesla will have enough batteries to not be battery constrained in 2022. If that is true, then, well, obviously the 1.5 million vehicles people are predicting Tesla will sell in 2022 could be 2 million. I mean, this could be an enormous, mind-blowing game changer if it is true. Now, I'm going to tell you what I think about this report. Some of it I believe is correct. Some of it I believe is hearsay and speculation. I'm going to try and separate truth from hearsay. Now, Nick Cox, a longtime entrepreneur and investor currently living in Singapore, says that the recent news that Tesla is ramping up huge production at its Lathrop facility in California has not been talked about. I had touched upon the possibility of this in an article I wrote recently. Now the full scale of what is going on is becoming clear. The new direction bears out what Elon Musk said at the annual shareholders meeting in October last year. The volume Lathrop is targeted to produce in quite a short time span has huge consequences for Tesla's revenues. The significance extends to autos as well as energy storage. The 2 years worth of orders Tesla has, 2 years worth of orders. That's a lot. That Tesla has stacked away just for the Megapack could amount to $4 billion based on the current production run rate. This figure probably comes to $6 billion if one includes the other energy storage products. Those will be met by supply from Lathrop. Its annual capacity potential should rise tenfold to reach $20 billion worth of potential capacity by the end of 2023 from the current $2 billion. In other words, that's an exponential increase, isn't it? Wow. It will be the largest manufacturing facility devoted to energy storage in the world. Well, I'm just going to stop right here. This is clearly factually incorrect. Based on the rest of the report, based on the size that this facility will be, based on the numbers here, CATL's battery storage facility near Gigafactory Shanghai will be significantly larger. So if you're talking about for Tesla, yes, it will be its largest battery facility. However, the CATL facility has also been built out for Tesla. It's currently operating and will hit 70 gigawatt hours of production either this year or next year. Now, Nick Cox says this is primarily significant because it shows the company will now be able to focus more on its energy storage business. I personally don't think that will happen soon. But anyway, the company has stated numerous times that energy storage is targeted to represent 50% of turnover. A clear path to achieving this is now opening up. Tesla's sophisticated software links the auto, battery, and energy storage divisions through natural synergies. In addition, Lathrop will have significant impact on battery capacity available for the semi and for autos, not just for energy storage. The semi program has been slowed due to the huge battery capacity required for supply and operation of a Class 8 truck. And I think we all know that that's true. Clearly, semi trucks need probably, I think, 800 plus gigawatt hours of batteries, and that is a massive amount of batteries. You can get maybe 15 vehicles out of that many batteries. Now, the facility's plans suggest that the company is not expecting any battery supply shortfall for its auto division. I'm going to comment on that at the end of the article. I don't agree with that point. Now, this is despite the breakneck speed at which its auto sales are growing. Auto sales will be able to grow at an even faster speed should Tesla not have any battery constraints. Now, the Lathrop facility is planned to provide a startling 40 gigawatt hours annually of battery capacity by the end of 2023. That would be equivalent to about 580,000 Model Y vehicles. The 40 gigawatt hour number is actually a conservative figure, says Nick. Internally in the company, it is expected that the production will hit 20.73 gigawatt hours by the end of 2022 and 47.5 gigawatt hours by the end of 2023. That compares in a startling fashion to the 4 gigawatt hours of annual production currently coming out of Nevada. Now, this new ratio between supply availability and forthcoming revenue growth is startling. The impact on Tesla's revenues should be similarly dramatic. Production at Lathrop is primarily for the large-scale Megapack utility product. It will additionally provide supply for the smaller Powerpack commercial product and the Powerwall residential product. The latter has always been supply constrained and is not even offered for sale in most markets. Now, this can enable both the utility and the residential products to be opened up to a world market hitherto almost untouched. Very true. Its Megapack product is sold out until the end of 2023. That's 2 years away. For the first time, the company now provides an online price list. The price list for Megapack is $1,389,000 each, but there are presumably discounts for volume orders. Currently, they are only supplying orders for projects in California, Nevada, and Texas as they start to ramp up production. The Megapack is not currently available for export according to this list. So yes, obviously there are countries all over the world that want Megapacks that would install them basically within a very short period of time if they could get access to them. I think there is definitely hundreds of billions of dollars of energy storage that will be deployed over the next decade. And well, whoever takes that market is whoever can manufacture these batteries first and has the capacity to then deploy them all over the world. And honestly, let's be frank, let's be logical about this. The only company in the world which has energy storage, battery storage supply contracts with almost everyone. And if we add Goshan High-Tech now to their energy storage, they've got Goshan High-Tech, they've got their own batteries, they've got CATL, they've got BYD, they've got LG Chem and LG Energy Solutions, and Panasonic in the US and Panasonic in Japan. Yeah, there is no other company in the world other than, say, a battery company such as CATL that has that kind of battery supply. Standard Megapacks are currently 23 foot times 5 foot. It is rumored that Tesla is about to produce 3 additional sizes, including one at 40 foot. The current standard model MP1 is itself being replaced by a new MP2. Exact differences in specification have not yet been released. It's expected that the cells will continue to be prismatic LFP cells supplied by the world's largest battery manufacturer from China, CATL. This company is already supplying to the Shanghai plant. The new contract is rumored to be for 40 gigawatt hours to 45 gigawatt hours of LFP batteries. Now, I've heard 70, but anyway, 40 gigawatt hours would require about 40 tons of lithium, which would represent about 9% of lithium demand globally last year. Even CATL cannot meet that demand. They have stated they expect to be well short of meeting demand for lithium-ion batteries for vehicles by 2025. Tesla itself is lining up direct contracts with lithium miners for its own future battery supplies. Megapacks are cobalt-free lithium iron phosphate and require lower energy density than batteries for cars. It has also reportedly signed up by an Australian mining company for its own graphite supplies. It is in talks with mining interests in New Caledonia and in Indonesia for the supply of nickel. It does not need to be underlined how vital the supply of batteries and chips will be for the revenues of Tesla in the coming years. So far as they seem to have handled this better than their competitors such as Ford, who again were closing down some production in the USA this week. This could be seen as another example of the foresight of Elon Musk. Tesla is also discussing with various authorities its plans for expansion of its own battery manufacturing, which will go hand in hand with outside suppliers. There were reports at the end of last year of discussions on this, for instance, with the government of Quebec in Canada. Further details may well be announced at the upcoming earnings announcement. Now, figures on energy storage growth will be very interesting. In Q3 of 2021, energy storage deployed rose 71% to 190 megawatt hours year on year. Revenue increased from $558 million to $803 million US dollars. Total revenues for the company as a whole rose 57% year on year during Q3 of 2021. Now, Megapack orders are backed up until the end of 2023, and these are currently being shipped out of the Nevada facility. Recent drone footage showed approximately $300 million worth of megapacks being assembled there for shipment out to customers. Now, based on Tesla's current production capability, it could be estimated that the energy storage orders in hand add up to at least $4 billion on this timeline if Tesla suddenly had all of its production available, which obviously is not going to happen. But anyway, that is for megapacks alone. That does not include the smaller size commercial power pack or the residential Powerwall, which is not even being offered in most markets because, well, obviously supply constraints. Now that would actually bring the order figure up to $6 billion. Now, an opening up of mass production of the 4680 battery would enable more of Tesla's other suppliers from outside sources to be used for energy storage. Unconfirmed reports indicate that some of the 4680 structural battery packs have been sited at the soon-to-be open Austin plant. Now, these reports have been confirmed. Tesla has confirmed that the Model Y vehicles that have already been built and are sitting in the parking lot have been built with Tesla's structural battery pack and with 4680 battery cells. I'll put a link in the description below to the video I made about that revelation. Now, one of the advantages of the new 4680 battery cells is that they allow for software visualization and control of cells. That's a key advantage. This month, it was announced by Panasonic that they would be investing $704 million in a new factory in Japan to build 4680 battery cells. It reinforces the fact that rumors of a breakdown in relations between Tesla and Panasonic are completely nonsensical and incorrect. Now, the company is still ramping up operations with its other suppliers as well. These include Panasonic, LG Chem, BYD, and of course CATL. Now, it's likely that the PLAID battery from BYD will be a one-off purchase before the 4680 production fully ramps up. It is interesting to note that BYD Auto, which is the major EV supplier in the world alongside Tesla, has also ramped up its energy storage operations. The two companies have similar vertical integration and synergies. It could be argued that BYD Auto is more seamlessly developed in this than Tesla. In other words, more vertically integrated, I think is what Nick is saying here. Now, Tesla's energy picture as a whole. The Lathrop facility is not crucial just for the production of batteries. It fits in with the whole picture of Tesla energy as being vertically integrated. Now, Tesla is pushing to become a power utility. In fact, it could potentially one day become the largest power utility in the world if they can actually follow through with what they want to do. It is becoming an electricity generator in various localities, including the UK, Germany, and Texas. The company can trade energy it does not need to generate or store. Now, through its VPPs, it can undercut utility rates, but long-term, the company will become the utility itself. And that, my friends, is the end goal for Tesla. Now, one can see why Musk was so keen to set up as an electricity generator in the UK. The government is full speed ahead with decarbonising the grid there. Its target is for it to be decarbonised completely by 2035. Wind and solar have now overtaken traditional coal generation in the UK. Nuclear is being phased out. A 25% rise in offshore wind capacity is predicted by 2030. As the renewable energy portion increases, so must battery backup storage for that renewable energy. The country is currently facing an energy price crisis, which has become known as a crisis of the fossil fuel economy as Putin uses natural gas supplies for political purposes. Now, the Tesla energy plan in the UK operates to households on solar panels and batteries. It offers an even lower tariff if a Tesla vehicle is added to the solar panel and Powerwall, and claims a potential 64% reduction in fuel bills as well. Now, this is effectively a virtual peaker plant in the same way as has been successfully created in South Australia or in Adelaide here in Australia where I'm from, where the aim is to hook up 50,000 homes. The Tesla energy plant in the United Kingdom aims to link up homes throughout the UK. It will need increased production of Powerwalls, massively increased, if the promise is to become a reality. Utility scale adoption using megapacks used to be seen as the fastest way to mass adoption of battery energy storage. Residential was seen as the icing on the cake, offering higher profit margins. However, supply through residential products supplied via virtual peaker plants gets to the same place anyway. With EV usage increasing so rapidly, residential will also increasingly become part of the whole package. Tesla has a qualitative edge through its auto bidder software. This is software that enables the system to work at the smartest times. Now, along with other software programs such as PowerHub and Microgrid Controller, it gives Tesla a qualitative edge over the competition. The huge savings made at the Hornsdale Power Reserve in South Australia using this software are well recorded. The place has paid for itself in a very short period of time. They show how Tesla's autonomous control software and its always improving machine learning and own commercial storage give it a significant edge. Those participating in the South Australia VPP virtual power plant enjoy the lowest residential electricity rates in the state, not in the country, in the state. This is up to 21% lower than the base utility rate. Tesla's involvement in past and current projects in South Australia means that the state is close to becoming totally independent of fossil fuel generation. Other Australian states have noticed, and they are following Adelaide's lead. These include New South Wales and Victoria. In other words, where the majority of the population actually lives in Australia. Now, the interoperability Tesla offers ties in closely with US government bodies, calls for holistic energy systems. This comes amidst what these bodies predict will be massive growth in energy storage systems as renewables replace fossil fuels. Now, VPPs using Powerwalls are an essential piece in the jigsaw, which very few other companies can replicate. Such VPPs have previously been a side issue for Tesla. They've admitted they've had to cut back for years on Powerwall supply to prioritize vehicle sales. This was for reasons of both battery and chip shortages. This can now be a problem of the past. Now, despite these challenges, Tesla did in November announce it has supplied 250,000 Powerwalls. At approximately $10,000 per Powerwall, this comes to revenues of about $2.5 billion. This is set to accelerate. The new improved product with 9.6 kilowatt output has been well received. The company has also been able to increase prices and sees no apparent decrease in demand. Musk sees the product essential to his aim to replicate giant distributed utilities around the world. In time, Tesla cars may become part of the virtual peaker plant with vehicle-to-grid supply. Indeed, one car would probably equal 5 Powerwalls in this function, but this may still be a few years away or until more cars are equipped with lithium iron phosphate batteries. Energy storage projects. Well, I'm not going to go into these in detail, but I'll summarize those for you. The Dunamenti power plant in December is one example in Hungary. This is 4 megawatt / 8 megawatt hours. Now there's a 100 megawatt battery in Angleton in Texas and also a 100 megawatt battery in Bouldercombe in Queensland in Australia. Then there's the Victorian Big Battery, which is 300 megawatts or 450 megawatt hours. Two 50 megawatt hour projects in the UK. A 165 megawatt / 336 megawatt hour project in San Diego. The Arevon and Tenaska energy storage facilities in California, which will provide 1,000 megawatt hours and 2,000 megawatt hours when fully completed. And also the Elkhart battery for PG&E, a 192.5 megawatt project, which should be commissioned this year. Now let's move on to the Semi. The Semi product seems to finally be off and running. A delaying factor has been battery production capability. Obviously, everyone knows that. The charging facilities for the order for 15 semis at the Frito-Lay facility for PepsiCo are now being set up. They will be charging at a revolutionary 1.5 megawatt hours. And obviously, this is a huge advantage of getting a Tesla truck, being able to charge at that kind of speed. But of course, it will take time to build out chargers for trucks. Now, this is another project, in fact, in which Tesla and BYD are both involved across a slew of products. Tesla and BYD can be seen as the two world leaders and main competitors in the brave new world of autos and energy, based on a renewable energy future. Now, I'm glad that Nick agrees with me on that. As you all know, I go off and on and on and on and on ad nauseum about BYD and Tesla, their vertical integration, and their plans for a better future for the world. Now, this is obviously coming on us much quicker than anyone predicted or expected. It can be seen that the charging for semis will be using megapacks. This would be far more economical than charging off the grid, even if such capacity was available. 4 megapacks are being installed in the first instance at the Frito-Lay facility. Rumors continue that the first 15 semis will be delivered to Pepsi by the end of this month. Now, Tesla has been using power packs on a mobile system for charging its own semis at its Nevada facility. This is evidence of how the power pack and the megapack can be used wherever it is appropriate, and that the semi launch is nearing as activity mounts. Now, it is estimated that approximately 1 megawatt to 1.6 megawatt will be required to operate semi-mega chargers. So the Lathrop facility seems to have become, in addition, a major direct driver for the semi program finally to get up and running. The size of the revenue that this will add to the Tesla revenue figure is dependent upon whether one is a bull or a bear on the entire semi program. Indirectly, Lathrop is undoubtedly a major driver in Tesla being able to ramp up its auto production still further for all types of vehicles. This will allow the company to get closer to meet the twin peaks of demand for its autos and its energy systems. Now, to conclude, the financial consequences for Tesla are very clear here. In 2020, the company's revenues totaled $31.5 billion US. Energy storage accounted for $1.9 billion, about 6% of the total. If the Lathrop facility could immediately supply outstanding orders, these would comprise about $6 billion, or allow energy storage to represent almost 20% of company revenues. If the Lathrop facility hits its target of an approximate tenfold increase in production, that would provide about $20 billion of annual capacity available over the next 2 years. Megapack orders alone today awaiting completion by Tesla can be approximated at over $4 billion plus other energy storage products. That does not take into account new orders for which the company has dialed back because of supply constraints, nor does it take into account opening up markets around the world for the Megapack or for the Powerwall. Now, obviously, there is huge potential for Tesla's energy storage business in Asia. This is a market it has not started to address yet, apart from cherry picking a few mega projects in Australia. Now, increased energy storage as a percentage of revenue would, in the short run, lead to a decline in gross margin for the company. Just want to make that clear. The energy storage business margins will increase this year markedly. It will not, however, compare to the very high gross margins Tesla makes on its vehicles of around 31%. That's industry leading, by the way. However, margins are improving and the company's battery costs are falling whilst its prices to customers are rising. At the same time, as the company increasingly trades energy, the Autobidder software has very little cost to Tesla. That will lead to soaring profit margins in the same way that full self-driving is touted to do for autos in the future. The continuing software revenues from mega projects such as the Hornsdale Power Reserve will contribute to a markedly high profit margin. Now, Nick says that it is not just the total new outlook for the company. The energy storage division will represent via the Lathrop facility. It also bears witness to the conclusion that Tesla will not be battery constrained for autos or semis this year and next. That points to allowing substantial auto revenue growth to meet the known demand as Tesla gets less supply constrained. It points to continuing strong growth and increased synergy across all the divisions of the company, with the fastest growth coming from energy storage. Now, I strongly disagree that Tesla won't be battery supply constrained this year. They may not be in 2023, that's very possible. This year, most certainly, without any question, they will be battery supplied. Now, I know Tesla's saying they're not battery constrained this year, but I disagree with that strongly. I think that the reality is the amount of demand there is for energy storage and for electric vehicles globally, including their factory in China, in Germany, in Texas, and in California. Put all those together, then add to that the demand there are for semis, then add to that the 1.3 million pre-orders that Tesla has for the Cybertruck. I think it's pretty obvious that there's not going to be enough batteries this year, or probably next year, to come anywhere near supplying the kind of demand that Tesla have. That's my view anyway, and I think that's just simple mathematics to work that out. But it doesn't matter. The point here that Nick is making, largely I agree with, which is that Tesla has, well, it is the auto company that is clearly ramping up its battery production, whether that's in-house or externally, more than any other auto company in the world, which is ridiculous because, I mean, look at the size of Tesla compared to Toyota and Volkswagen. If anything, those are the two companies that should be ramping up faster than Tesla, but they clearly are not. Now, there's one other key issue here for Tesla. Tesla did not make a profit from energy storage in 2021. In fact, they made a loss. Will they make a profit in 2022? Now, eventually, I mean, obviously profits in the short term are not what Tesla was about or is about. They're a growth story. And eventually the point is that they start taking market share and they eventually make a profit. They're able to drive the price, the cost to themselves of the product down, which is what Tesla was very, very good at, and then increase the price to consumers. And I think that will continue to happen. They will succeed at that. So eventually I predict they will make a profit. But it is something to consider. Do they really want to continue to ramp up energy storage projects at an enormous rate if they can't actually make a profit? Well, I don't know the answer to that, but it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. Now, the other thing this doesn't talk about, this article, that is Tesla's battery contract with Gotion High-Tech, which is a battery company in China, part owned, about 26% owned by Volkswagen, though Volkswagen have given up their voting rights for the next 3 years. So I believe that is what has led to the decision from Gotion High-Tech to build battery factories in the United States that will eventually supply Tesla with 200 gigawatt hours per year of lithium iron phosphate production. Now you might think lithium iron phosphate, yeah, that's good, but 210 watts per kilo is what these batteries are reported to have. And that kind of energy density means that LFP batteries are no longer constrained by something like range. Now we can already see the energy density of Tesla's lithium iron phosphate batteries start to improve in China, as you've seen by my recent video about the Tesla Model 3, and it's now improved, well, the Tesla Model Y, and it's significantly improved range with Tesla's latest LFP battery packs. But this, my friends, is going to completely change the game for Tesla. In addition, getting an additional 200 gigawatt hours of batteries from another supplier, which is not in that list of the other 5 suppliers that Tesla currently has, adding that to Tesla's current battery production and plans over the next decade means that, honestly, I think there is no potential way you could argue against Tesla being the largest auto company in 2030 and the largest energy storage company in 2030 as well. So based on that information, those two facts, well, do with it what you wish. But what I want to know is, what do you think of these predictions and these plans for 2030 for Tesla? What do you think of this claim that Nick's making that in 2022, Tesla won't be battery constrained? Do you agree with me that they will be? Or do you agree with Nick that they won't be? Thanks for watching the video, and I'll see you again on the next one. Bye-bye.